The F1 2026 is in a pretty unusual position, because, as you hopefully already know, there isn't actually a brand new F1 game this year. Instead, the 2026 season pack has been added to F1 2025 as a DLC. And now that we've got the new cars, teams and regulations, there's still two things that are still catching my attention. Special liveries, and now Malaysia. Because one of these could realistically happen. The other, even Malaysia returning to the real F1 calendar, I don't think that we're actually going to end up seeing in-game. So, what's actually going on? Let's start with the liveries. One of the biggest changes to F1 25 was actually the way the special liveries worked. EA changed the system so that special edition liveries could be applied to the actual F1 team they represented, rather than just being used on the F1 World Car. Once you unlocked one, you could use it in modes including Career, Grand Prix and Time Trial, and this was a pretty important change, because Formula 1 teams are constantly changing their liveries. We've seen special designs for home races, sponsors, anniversaries and one-off events. So having those designs properly represented in the game makes the game feel so much more connected to the real season. The first example came in 2025 with McLaren Silverstone Google Chrome livery. EA actually described it as the first real-world special livery to be added to F1 25. And since then, we've seen plenty more. But there's a problem. There is no special liveries for F1 26. The 2026 season pack launched on June 3rd. We've now had several months of the new season, and we've already seen some pretty significant special liveries in real life. But the communication from EA around bringing those designs into the game has been pretty quiet. Looking through the official 2026 season pack updates, the focus has mainly been on patches, cars, gameplay fixes. For example, the July 10th update focused on things like the Williams car and various other fixes. And the June updates included fixes to the custom liveries, but that isn't the same thing as adding the real-world special liveries that we're seeing at races. This has also become a talking point among the F1 community. Players on Reddit have been asking when the 2026 special liveries will arrive, with some pointing out that we still don't even have the same level of alternate liveries that were eventually added for the 2025 cars. And personally, I think this is going to be the most interesting thing to watch for in 2026, because the system is already here. EA has shown that they can add the real world special liveries to the game, so the question isn't really, can they do it? But now, it's, when are they going to do it? Now, there's Malaysia. Now this is where things get really interesting. If you've been around F1 for a while, you'll probably remember Sepang. Because Sepang was a permanent part of the F1 calendar from 1999 until 2017. And Sepang is still one of those circuits that F1 fans constantly talk about bringing back. It's fast, technical, and it's got massive straights. So you think that Malaysia is returning to the real F1 calendar in 2026? It would be the perfect opportunity to bring Malaysia back into the game. Except, it probably won't. Malaysia being absent from the current game isn't actually something new. We've already seen Codemasters include tracks that weren't part of the real-world F1 calendar. A great example is F1 2020. When F1 2020 released, the real 2020 season had been completely disrupted by COVID-19. Races were being cancelled, postponed, and added to the calendar throughout the year. But Codemasters didn't simply remove every circuit that wasn't on the revised calendar. Instead, F1 2020 still included the original 2020 calendar, including circuits that ultimately didn't host a Grand Prix that year. And that included Malaysia's Sepang International Circuit. So there's a precedent for Codemasters putting a circuit into the game even when it isn't actually being used by Formula 1 that season. Which brings us back to F1 26. You could argue that if Malaysia was already available as an asset in an older game, and now it's returned to the real F1 calendar, why couldn't it be added? And that's where the current situation with the F1 games becomes important, because EA is EA. The franchise is obviously a commercial product, and development decisions aren't simply based on what the fans would like to see. There's licensing, there's development time, there's testing, and there's budgets. But most importantly, there's the release cycle. F1 26 isn't being developed in the same way that a completely new F1 game would be. The 2026 season was brought into F1 25 as a season pack, while the next major game is F1 27. EA and Codemasters have already said that F1 27 is where the franchise will be reimagined, meaning that's where the larger development focus is going. So even if there are people at Codemasters who would love the Principine back, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to happen. And that's probably the biggest reason I don't expect Malaysia in F1 26. It's not that I'm saying the track wouldn't make sense, and it's not that there's no demand at all. It's that not even that we've seen an F1 game include a circuit outside of the original calendar. It's simply that the development has moved on. The 2026 season pack is already out, and the team will be looking ahead to F1 27. So from EA's perspective, is it really worth putting the resources into bringing an old circuit back for F1 26 when the next major game is already the priority? I don't think so. And that's the frustrating thing, because if this were a different situation, Malaysia could actually be a very realistic possibility. But with the way the F1 franchise is structured now, I don't think EA is going to make an investment for 26. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I will definitely catch you in the next one.